Hello guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to install and play Unreal and Unreal Tournament on a modern Windows OS. In our previous videos, we fixed the games by using compatibility patches, then emulators, and also by changing the resolution of games and by also changing the texture size, etc. In this video, we are going to cover a new topic in which we will edit the INI files, that is the configuration files of the game. So without any further ado, let's start the process. First of all, I will install both Unreal and Unreal Tournament on my hard drive. The setup process should go normally because it is compatible by 32-bit operating system. Okay, I have to install one game at a time. So Unreal is installed. Now we'll install Unreal Tournament. So both the games are installed now. Now we'll start with Unreal before going to Unreal Tournament. Both the games will have same options and same process. So I will do both of the games at one time. First of all, we'll do with Unreal. I am using the gold edition of the game, but it should work with any other edition. So we'll run the game using the executable file. Open the unreal.exe. As you open the file, you will get three options: 3dfx glide, direct 3D and software rendering. If you do not have nglide installed on your PC or you have never used DigiVoodoo, then you might not get 3dfx glide option. However, this option might be present, but I am not sure. In my other PC, this option was not present as I did not have nglide installed. So the direct 3D and the software rendering are the default options available on all PCs if you own a normal graphics card or you use an integrated graphics. So we'll start with the direct 3D option. Click on direct 3D and click on the finish button. Click on OK. The game will now run on D3D mode. As you saw in the video, it was very laggy. Let me show you once more. You can also see some stutters in this video, and in the other video there was some lags. So we'll be fixing this issue first. For that, we have to quit the game, but also I will show the same problem on the Unreal Tournament game so that we can fix both the games at the same time. In Unreal Tournament, you will also get the same options, and we will start with the direct 3D option.
In 2291,
The video was not as laggy as it was in Unreal, but it was very dark. so we'll face both the darkness and the lag problem in both the games. For that, we have to open the system folder of both the games, and then we have to open the main configuration file of both the games. For Unreal, the configuration file is unreal.ini, and for Unreal Tournament it is unreal tournament.ini. We'll open both the files and we will change the settings at the same time. So in Unreal, you have to go to this engine option in order to change the game render device. For example, if you are using direct 3D and you want to change to glide, you have to change from here. For glide, you have to write here glide drv glide render device, but we have to change the resolution first. For that, you have to go down below. You have to go to win.drv.windows client. Here you will get resolutions for both windowed mode and full screen mode, but we have to change the resolution only in full screen mode because it was having lag in the full screen mode. You can also change the resolution for the windowed mode, but it will have no effect. So let's find the settings for both the games. So we have the settings here. Now let's change it. The X, the full screen viewport X is for the x-axis of your monitor resolution, and the Y is for the y-axis of your monitor resolution. I'm using an 1080p monitor, so it will be 1920 by 1080. And you can also change the color depth of the game. I'm changing it to 32-bit. Similarly, for Unreal Tournament, I am changing the resolution to 1920 by 1080. So we can now save both the ini files, and now we'll run both the games. Now you can see that there is no lag in the video as we saw earlier. But there's one more thing you can see, that the this picture of Unreal Gold is now scaled to a 4:3 mode, and there are black borders on the right side of the photo. This happened because we changed the resolution to our monitor resolution, but these games were actually made for 4:3 monitors, so this will occur. If you own a 4:3 monitor, then it will not occur because this picture will be covered by your full screen. Similarly, for Unreal Tournament, the lag will no longer occur, and you will get the 4:3 video. So now you can see that the video for Unreal Tournament is also now brighter, and you can see the environment. As I told you, it will be scaled to 4:3 as it is not a 4:3 monitor. And if you have a 4:3 monitor, then this picture will be in will take full screen. So we'll now quit this part and now go to the next part, which is our glide mode. For glide, I recommend you that you use nglide or Debuggs because they are the best emulators available. I have installed nglide on my PC, and after you install nglide, you have to search for nglide configurator on your search bar. Here you will get options for video backend, screen resolution, aspect ratio, refresh rate, etc. etc. For video backend, choose DirectX if you have a low-end PC, or else choose Vulkan if you have a very good graphics card and you do not have as powerful CPU as your graphics card. I have made a complete analysis of both these options and both the emulators in a different video, and I am going to choose DirectX for this video. So we have choose the DirectX option, and now we want to change our video driver. For changing the driver, go open the game. After opening the game, go to the options tab, go to preferences. Here in this video tab, you will select the video tab and go to video driver. Click on the change option. After that, you will get these options again. Click on 3dfx glide this time. So the game is now running in the glide mode. it is actually scaling the 1600 by 1200 resolution, so you are getting the picture fully scaled, and it is now what I can say, it is a now fat quality picture, and it is no more and it is no more in the real condition as it was earlier. So we can now change the D3D mode to glide mode for both the games by opening the game. Similarly, in Unreal Tournament, go to Options, Preferences, Video tab, choose Video driver and click on Change. You will get the 3dfx glide option again. Also in this game, the picture is now scaled to 16:9 monitor, and the picture is now, you can see the picture is now a fat picture, and it is no more in the 4:3 mode. So we have successfully changed the video mode of both the games. So we will go to the next part of software rendering. For software rendering, you can choose you can change from the game, or you can also change from the ini file. For that, open the engine.engine file and select game render device and change it to soft drv and change glide render device to software render device. Similarly, in Unreal INI, change the settings. Okay, we have changed the settings for both the games. Let's start with Unreal now. Okay, as we start Unreal, we will see that there is a general protection fault. This may occur in your PC or may not occur, but this occurs because of the resolution that we are using. So now we will fix this problem. We will change the color depth of the game to 32 bits. We will also change the windowed viewport X to 1920 by 1080. This is optional as the game might be fixed without this change also. After that, you can change the use direct draw mode to false, because software mode normally doesn't use the direct draw as far as I know. So now let's try again. Okay, now you can see that the game is running without the crash as we saw earlier. So now we'll change this setting for Unreal Tournament. I think Unreal Tournament works without this change also. Only if you change the software mode, if you change it to software mode, then the game works. Let me see once again. Okay, the game is actually working on the software mode in 640 by 480 video mode. Let's see if we can make the game full screen. No, it is not occurring. Let's click on this button. This does not help too. So now let's see if we can change this problem by changing the full screen modes. We got the windowed mode again. I think the software mode cannot run on the full screen mode, and we don't have any option here too. So I think the windowed mode will be unusable in both the cases. So for Unreal game, I think you have to change the windowed viewport. Let me check once again. I think we have to change the setting once more. Let me configure the file to be read only. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we can see that the game is running on the 640 by 480 video mode. So it is no more crashing in this mode as we saw earlier. So I think the main problem for this game was that it was the this color bit 16 bit or 32 bit. I think it was not the resolution that was causing the problem. Similarly, for Unreal Tournament, I think it was originally set to 32 bit, as you can see here, so it was not causing the problem. So we have now fixed the software rendering problem for both the games. Now we will move to another part in which we will turn on S3 textures, which is the high resolution texture for Unreal Tournament. For that, you have to insert the second CD of the game. I am inserting it now. After you insert the CD, open the setup okay, after you open the setup executable file, you can install the textures by selecting high resolution compressed textures, and you can also install both the mods, but I will not install as I don't need now. So I've installed the textures. Now let me start Unreal Tournament. Okay, we'll run Unreal Tournament in D3D mode now, because we want full screen. Okay, we'll run in the 32-bit mode, and we can leave this mode untouched. I think when you make the game to windowed mode, the game uses the software renderer.
Welcome to Deathmatch Combat Training.
So here you
Deathmatch
can
is a
see that
sport
the
in which you
textures are in
compete
very
against
low
other
resolution.
gun-wielding
We'll
players in
change
a
this problem
fast-paced free-for-all.
by changing
The object is to destroy all of your enemies by any means
texture settings
necessary.
in the configuration file.
Every time you take an enemy out, you get a point called a frag in gaming lingo. You can see your frag count on the left side of
You
the
can
screen.
see the textures
At
of the
the end
game,
of the game,
and then
the player with the most frags wins the match.
you can see the textures of the game. Let me show you once more. And now you can check the textures after I change the settings. For that setting, go down below in Unreal Tournament.ini file until you find d3d drv.d3d render device. Here you will find a setting called detail textures. You need to set it to true. This will turn on the high resolution textures. You can also turn on 32-bit textures, but I don't know what this settings does actually. So I will also turn this to true, but the high resolution textures are actually turned on by changing the setting for the detail textures. I will also change other settings like trilinear to true, and I will change volumetric lighting to true. Please note that you have to use the capital letters, as small letters may not work. So we'll save the file now, and now run the game. You can also turn off pre-caching if it is taking too much time to load the game. It is also available in the Unreal Tournament.ini file. Okay, the game is loaded. Now let's see the textures.
Welcome to Deathmatch Combat Training. Deathmatch is a sport in which you compete against other
Compare
gun-wielding
the
players
textures
in a
the last
fast-paced
time you saw
free-for-all.
with this one.
The object is to destroy all of your enemies by any means
You can see
necessary.
that there are cracks on the wall, but you did not see it the last
Every
time.
time you take an enemy out, you get a point called a frag in gaming lingo. You can see your frag count on the left side of the screen. At the end of the game, the player with the most frags wins the match.
You can also see the cracks
Remember,
on the
if you
pillar
accidentally blow yourself
without
up
any
or fall
problem.
into lava, you will lose a frag.
So
Let's learn some basics about moving around. A
So
good
these are some-
deathmatch player is always moving because a
these are
moving
some
target is harder to
graphical
hit than a
settings you can
stationary
change.
one.
These are some graphical settings you can change for the game. Let me turn off all the sound. I cannot talk actually with these sounds. So we are running the game on the 32-bit mode with 32-bit textures and also with the high resolution textures. So this feature of high resolution textures was actually made for S3 graphics card, but we have now enabled it on NVIDIA graphics. So this was the setting for the high resolution textures, but there are more options in both the games. Let's see with Unreal this time. If you go to D3D DRV option, you will find the trilinear option, page flipping, triple buffering, detail textures, etc. again. However, this detail textures is not as same as the one in Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament used high resolution textures for S3 cards, but Unreal will not use the similar texture. It will use the high resolution textures made during that time. And the textures for Unreal for high resolution textures are supported by all the graphics card and not only for one manufacturer. So here you will get a lot of other options like volumetric lighting, mapping, trilinear, etc. We can also change all the settings here. I will change trilinear to true and triple buffering to true. I don't know what triple buffering does in direct 3D mode, but we will see anyway. You can also turn on pre-catching in this game as we saw in Unreal Tournament. Okay, we were running the game in the software mode. We have to actually quit the software mode. Okay, we'll change the software mode from inside the game now. Before that, we'll change the resolution so that we do not have any problem with the resolution again. Okay, now let's change the setting. Okay, the game actually changed to the old resolution again. Okay, we have to change the setting in our ILM. (1920 by 1080). Okay, now let's see the textures, and you can also see that there came a message for pre-catching.
Prisoners 8 over 9 escaping. All prisoners revealing themselves.
The textures are detailed but not as that one found in Unreal Tournament. So this is the game in direct 3D mode. Now let's check out some other options. The options for graphics for direct 3D is not only exclusive to direct 3D, it is also available for glide and software mode also. So we'll see for the other two modes. There are also other modes for S3 graphics card called the metal mode. This high resolution texture is actually supported by the metal API and not the direct 3D API, but if you change the setting you will get this option. So we chose the true option for high detailed textures for Unreal Tournament, and the option worked. So we'll see for other settings like 3dfx glide and software rendering now. For 3dfx glide, go to glide drv glide render device in both the games. So we have the setting here now. Here you can turn on volumetric lighting as it is turned on in both the games. Then there is shiny surface option, coronas, high detail actors, default detail bias, etc., which you actually don't want to touch. These are some basic things of the graphics of the game. Then there is fast ugly refresh. I don't know what this actually does, but it is set to false. We can check what happens by turning it to true, but you can see it on your own. Let me see what happens if you turn it to true. I don't think it will have much effect. Also, after you change the setting for the glide API, you have to turn on glide API by going to engine.engine and changing the game render device. So I'm not seeing any difference in this game. I think it is the same, or without any effect this option works in the game. But you can see the high resolution textures. I think this settings is found in the INA file. I am not sure, let me see once again, or it is a default option for this graphics card. Okay, this option is found in the glide DRB. If you turn it to false, the textures will no more be detailed. Also there are options available for other graphics cards and for OpenGL, then SGL. I don't know which graphics card is this. I think it is for the Matrox or probably something else, I'm not sure. There are also settings for the software mode. Let's see what is there. High resolution texture smooth, means it will smooth out the textures, means if the textures are very blocky it will smooth out and you will not see blocky textures. It is also available in the Unreal Tournament game. We get the same options for both the games for software mode, translucency, volumetric lighting, shiny surfaces, etc, etc. And you can change the settings for all these options here. You can also change the resolution for glide mode in Unreal Tournament. I think we can change the resolution from this place, but I will leave it untouched. I think it will not cause any difference, as we saw in refresh rate option, in fast ugly refresh option. Also you can change the refresh rate of both the games of glide mode by changing the refresh rate from 60 Hz to something else like 50, 30 Hz, etc, etc. Also you can change the rendering API to OpenGL. I don't know how it is done. I think you have to set it to this spelling. Let me see what happens. I have not used this mode actually. Okay, so move to game render device. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, the game is actually running in OpenGL. I didn't expect it, but it is functional. Okay, we could not change the color bit. Okay, let's change the color bit from inside the game. Okay, we also change the resolution from here so that we do not get the darkness problem. Okay, it is actually set to 32-bit now. Now let's see. Okay, so the game is running in 32-bit with 1920 by 1080 resolution on OpenGL. So if you have any problem with direct 3D mode till now, you can run the game in OpenGL mode and you won't have much problems. The textures are fine, but they are no longer detailed textures, but the game is functioning properly. And OpenGL is actually supported by all the operating system and all graphics card, as far as I know. It may be OpenGL 1 or OpenGL 2, but it does not matter. OpenGL is actually backwards compatible, fully backwards compatible, and you won't have any problem. So we have checked out the OpenGL option, which I did not check out earlier. I think this option is also available in Unreal. Let me see. Yes, it is available in this game too. Let's check it in Unreal game now. The resolution is fine. Now let's run Unreal. Okay, Unreal actually crashed. I think we messed up with another settings. Let me see in this OpenGL part. I think we can turn off detailed textures here. I don't think it will cause any change in the game. Let's see once again. Okay, in Unreal the OpenGL option does not work, so you have to manage with the direct 3D software and 3dfx glide options. And I think the other options like SGL DRV and Metal DRV, they will also not work because they are not actually supported by the graphics card, by AMD and Intel graphics card, and also by Nvidia graphics card. So you have to stick to the glide or the direct 3D or the software mode in all the games, and the OpenGL OpenGL mode will also work in the Unreal Tournament. So these were some of these options in both the games. Apart from the nglide wrapper for glide emulation, you can also use the Digivoodoo API for glide emulation, and you can also run the direct 3D mode with the Digivoodoo API without any problem. If you run the game with the Digivoodoo API, you can change the resolution from inside the game. Let me show you once here. Okay, let me extract the file first. I will give the links for Digivoodoo and glide in the description below. Okay, this file has a password. I forgot what it was actually. Let me use the old version. Okay, we'll be using the settings here, and we need to change the graphics mode once more. Let's see. It is running with Digivoodoo. In some case, you are unable to open this, you are unable to edit this unreal.ini file. You can use this Digivoodoo emulator in order to run the game, and you might be able to get the you might be able to get your 1920 by 1080 resolution or your monitor resolution inside the game if you use this emulator and use this DLL files, the direct D3D-IMM 8, 9, DDRO and Digivoodoo control panel. If you use Digivoodoo with Microsoft APIs, you might be able to get a lot of other options like this anti-aliasing option, which will smooth out your textures. And if the game does not run at all on your direct 3D mode, then the Digivoodoo emulator will work for both the games, Unreal and Unreal Tournament, and you can run the game. So this was for the Digivoodoo Microsoft part. You can also use the 3dfx glide APIs from here, which will also work without any problem. Let me show you once more. Let's run the game. So this time it is running with this glide emulator, this Digivoodoo. I think we cannot change the resolution from inside the game. I think we have to use this emulator settings. As we saw in nglide, we could not change the resolution from the configuration file. It would automatically change to 1600 by 1200 or any other resolution. The resolution would be changed only by the configurator of both the emulators for Digivoodoo and for nglide. So for resolution, I don't think you can change the resolution from inside the game for glide. As you can see, it normally goes to the original option. So this was for the glide part, and so we have come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any other confusion, let me know in the description. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more videos. Bye for now.